listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back. Took a week off. Got a big week of wrestling to talk about. Some Dynamite, SmackDown, Raw, maybe a little AAA thrown in there. Some NXT call-ups, a Scoop 5. It's a full slate, ladies and gentlemen, so we're just going to jump right in. But as always, I'm one half your hosting team, Micah, otherwise known as Mr. Scoop. On the other end of the call, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast, he's back from the Rocket City. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah. Great to be back here with you. We had a little scheduling issue last week, but we are back. We're going to do our thing this week, as only we can do. And we actually got a loaded show, so I'm excited to talk about a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, well, you know, despite what those would have you believe, everybody needs a break now and then. We've had our nose to the grindstone with pay-per-views and PLEs and weekly shows. But, you know, so we took a week off, but we're back, and I'm going to pass it off to you, Ryan, for a loaded Scoop 5.
Yeah, we're going to start Scoop 5 hot, Micah, and that is one of our personal favorites here on the show, Ilya Dragunov. Per PW Insider, Micah, Ilya Dragunov will not be re-signed by the WWE. And apparently this was a Ilya decision, and WWE wanted to re-sign him. But maybe just the money wasn't right, maybe creative wasn't right. But, Micah, is this a big loss for WWE, and where do you see Ilya landing next?
This one hurt my heart a little bit because I love Ilya. Like you said, one of our favorites on the show. I think that this is one of those moves that personally I have to say, how do you let a guy like Ilya go? How can you not find something for this guy?
Fed bad, huh? Fed bad, Micah?
Fed bad on this one. But I say that to say this, right?
Yeah.
I don't think WWE will miss him. And that hurts for me to say. I don't want anybody to misconstrue that as me saying that WWE couldn't use him, because they could. But we know how it works over there. You know, he's just a cog in the machine, and the machine keeps rolling, and they'll fill somebody with that spot and make it work. However, I think it's ridiculous that they couldn't find something for him to do. And ultimately, as a fan, wherever he goes, I'm interested. But to me, it was the same way with like the Motor City Machine Guns and the New Day, right? Like personally.
Wait, who? Motor City Machine Guns? Have they been seen since Collision?
Well,
I don't. Are they back in catering?
Topic for another time, because I agree with you.
Right.
But to me, like on paper, you know, those guys, the New Day, Ilya, it's like, how do you not have something for these guys to do? But I mean, the machine keeps chugging.
Well, he had the deck stacked against him from the start. With the size was always going to be a question, Micah. Let's be honest. Look at the current state of WWE, and all these new guys coming in with size and a look to them. A guy like the stature of Ilya, I mean, it was an uphill battle. And the charisma aspect, Micah. I mean, he wasn't going to go out there and give you a 10, 15-minute promo to sell you on a pay-per-view or PLE. Wasn't going to do that.
Well, they didn't ever give him a chance.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe he comes back later down the road. He's only like 31, 32 years old.
That's crazy. I thought he was a little bit older than that.
Do you think it was a creative issue, or do you think it was the money? Maybe a little both?
I could see it being both, but truthfully, I think that, he's 32 years old. I think that Ilya has been in that system long enough. I mean, he's been there since 2019, 7 years. I think he realizes where he's at, and he can do more. Personally,
He probably looked around and saw, Oba and Braun Breaker, Javon Evans, OTM. He looked at all the guys getting called up and all the guys that's been here for the last year or so. And where does he fit into that crop, Micah? Because his spot was dwindling. And then that injury didn't help either. You remember he got injured as soon as he got called up?
yeah.
And came back with that terrible neck tattoo.
Well, I mean, it worked for Cody. I think,
does it?
To me, well, he makes it work. I'll just say that. To me, with Ilya, man, like I said, it hurts because I'm such a fan of his. And I feel like with a really concerted effort to get behind him and give him promos and let you more into the person of Ilya Dragunov, because we know the in-ring is top notch. Personally, it's like, man, how do you not find something for that guy mid-card? Even if he's not going to be technically a world champion, he could have been like Cesaro. You know what I mean? Just a guy that was always this close.
Mid-card mainstay. Maybe he just didn't want to be that. Maybe he saw himself as a main eventer.
And that's understandable. And that exactly leads into my next point, which is Ilya Dragunov should stay far away from AEW for a little bit. And I know...
it's not going to happen.
I know, but I know everybody's doing that picture right now from Tangled where they have all the swords to the neck, right? But just hear me out, man. It's like you said with the Motor City Machine Guns. He's going to go over there. He's going to have a big debut, and then he's going to be stuck on Collision, putting on bangers that people are going to talk about for a day or two after, and that's it.
Well, I can probably map it out too. I can probably map it out a little better, Micah. I think he's going to debut surprise entrant at the Casino Gauntlet. Was that this? Is it next? Is this Sunday, right?
Oh yeah,
that's when All In is. Okay, debut there. Probably have a 20-minute banger against maybe Fletcher or Okada, Takeshita, and walk out with the International Championship on the Dynamite. Probably have another banger with Brian Cage on Collision, of course. Probably a title eliminator match on Dynamite. Not win. And then he'll be in a national or TNT title picture from there on out. And I'm sure he'll find his way aligned with Darby Allin, teaming against the Death Riders. And probably a promo in between, Micah, where he'll say he's having fun, and this is where the best wrestle. Did I get them all?
Yeah, I think you checked all the boxes.
Okay, all right.
Maybe an interview saying that he has more creative freedom now.
It'll be with Chris Van Fleet.
Yeah,
would that be the interview, or Ariel Helwani?
Nah, Chris Van Fleet. We don't send dub wrestlers to Mr. Helwani anymore. But again, that right there is the problem, because that's what's going to happen, and I fear that for the New Day. It's already happening with the Motor City Machine Guns. They're an afterthought, and that roster. I don't care what you say. If you're a fan of AEW, that's fine, but that roster is bloated, and he will just end up being Ciampa, and that's fine. Ciampa's great, and I think he's having a good run, but that's it. Ciampa's never going to be a world champion in that company. And Ilya Dragunov, at 32 years old, if he comes into AEW, it's world title or nothing, if you ask me. And there's too many guys that if he came in there and immediately got a world championship, well, how can you justify that over Takeshita, over Fletcher, over Brody King, over Andrade, so many guys that have been there putting in the work, and you're going to hand it to Ilya immediately? That's going to piss a lot of guys off. And that's why I think the absolute best spot is New Japan.
You think it'd be a size issue in New Japan?
I think he can get over it. I mean, you saw how small Finn was there.
Yeah, that is true. But Finn
And
wasn't world champion over there. He was the junior champion, wasn't
yeah, I think he was junior champion, but I feel like Ilya, I mean, that style that he wrestles, I feel like he can get over there and compete and be in world championship status. Like, is he that much smaller than like a Jay White?
he? Like height wise, yeah, but like stature, like build, nah, not really. I mean, he's probably a little more jacked than Jay White. Well, I don't know. Jay White kind of cut, but yeah, I see what you're saying. It's rare that guys. New Japan is more. They don't have a lot of American or English type wrestlers in the main event scene, do they? It's very
I
rare
think,
that they get like gaijins that they push.
yeah, I
Or
think like Callum
well, I think
Newman is the only one that comes to mind right now.
isn't a gaijin only American? Gaijin's just American, right? Or is that just
Uh,
anybody that's not Japanese? I don't know the terminology. Call me a fake fan. I don't know.
yeah, it's just a foreigner. It's an outside
Oh,
person.
okay, all right. A Callum Newman. Yeah, he's 1,000 times better than Callum Newman.
Yeah. Or even like, for instance, Sonata has been world champion over there,
Has he?
IWGP heavyweight champion.
Oh
Yeah, and he's 5'11".
man,
So
Sonato's the world champion.
well, that was like sometime last year before last, I
Okay,
think.
but still, my point is they don't have a lot of foreigners that they push in the main event scene.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, I think Ilya, it's
He's
one of those
talented.
things, he's uber talented. And it's one of those things of like, do you want to go be the 15th guy in AEW that puts on good matches and you'll get a mid card championship every now and then
But
and
you
you'll be
gotta
kind
do
of an
silly stuff.
afterthought?
You'll have to do silly stuff with Chris Jericho initially, of course.
Yeah, just the initiation ritual. Or do you want to flesh out your career and become a top star with like a legacy? And I think if that's what Ilya wants to do, I think New Japan is the best route for him to go. But that's all I got to say about it. It does hurt my heart though. I love Ilya, and wherever he goes, I'm watching. I'll be interested.
I would love for him to go to a TNA or New Japan. I would
Yeah,
love
me
that
too.
because
And
that would just add. Oh yeah, go ahead.
one more thing, if he goes to New Japan, and I've said that the Forbidden Door concept is like super tired, but if he does go to New Japan, you still have the possibility for those dream matches that's what everybody wants to see. Oh my god, bro, imagine Ilya versus Kyle Fletcher, or imagine like Ilya versus John Moxley. Okay, like we can still get that, but he can be showcased elsewhere. I feel better about that. That's just me personally.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But we'll move on, Micah, to the second scoop, and that is AEW announced today that they'll be running Grand Slam Paris, Micah. And yeah, you got any thoughts about them running Paris for this show coming up, Micah?
I think it's good for them to branch out to international markets. That crowd is always super lively for WWE. I
It's
just don't know how big the fan base is there. And I'm not hating. I'm just asking a question.
well, by the way, it is on a Tuesday, so I guess they'll be counter programming NXT. I wonder if we'll get outraged about that. But that's October 6th, and it is at the Adidas Arena in Paris. Very small arena. I think it has 8,000 people.
Hmm.
So they should be able to sell that out, right?
I would think for the first show in Paris ever, yeah, probably. And again, I don't know how big their fan base is over there, but they have the My AEW thing for international fans, so I'm sure they've got a big international audience, or a sizable one. I'll say that.
You already got people fantasy booking the fans losing their minds about Kenny Omega and them doing the same chant that they gave AJ during that show they had in Paris.
Oh yeah, I mean probably they'll probably stack the card too. I mean it should be a good night of TV at least.
I don't know. Remember when they had that Australia show? There was supposed to be a pay per view and then got scaled back to a collision or a dynamite. You remember that?
Yeah, maybe there will be a ring scandal again.
Oh man. Oh, we ain't seen Buddy Matthews since.
Nah, I think he got hurt. Believe it or not, it's
Yeah,
kind
in
of the
that ring.
story.
In that ring.
Dang, how long has he been out now?
Since that.
God, that feels like forever ago.
Was
Cause,
it 18 months ago?
jeez. Oh,
I think it was.
see,
Did he get his
Ilya can
leg
go be Buddy
amputated?
Matthews, or he could be, Kenny Omega.
Callum Newman.
Oh, come on now.
You got anything else to add to AEW Paris Grand Slam, Micah?
No, I mean, I think it's a good idea for him. Should be a good
All right.
environment.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to young Avery Styles, Micah. He has officially signed with TNA, and they announced it at the Lockdown pay-per-view. I think that was last Sunday. You a fan of the signing, Micah? Avery Styles, son of the Hall of Famer AJ Styles, signing to TNA.
Oh my God, bro. What a Nepo baby. I can't
Oh, baby.
believe he's getting a job already just because he's AJ's son. I mean, it's not like, the entire Samoan family gets jobs because of who they're related to, or Randy Orton is a third generation wrestler, or Cody Rhodes got a job because he's a third generation or second generation wrestler, or Devon Eric's got signed to AEW because they're third generation wrestlers, or like, dude, Jesus Christ.
You know what? It figures that Nepo baby showed up an hour and a half into the show to avoid putting up the chairs.
I need AJ to open up the pocketbook. I need him to go down to NXT.
Yeah.
And find one Mr. Sean Spears.
Okay. Oh,
say,
the chairman.
Sir, can you come off of the chairman gimmick, please?
He should come to the ring with the chair, huh?
I mean, can we have Sean Spears come out with him?
Okay. All right. I'm listening. Hey, and bro, look, if you an AEW fan and you got a problem with Nepo babies, then I don't want to hear nothing about Sting Jr. I don't want to hear nothing about the Gun Boys. I don't want to hear nothing about. Oh, who else am I missing, Mike?
Devon Eric's.
Devon Eric's. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is a
Hook.
What about Hook? Yeah, Hook. Tony Khan. Tony Khan's Nepo baby, man. What are we kidding?
Literally. And there's nothing wrong with being a Nepo baby. The only issue comes in is when you're
baby. Shout out Zilla.
It's oh God. It's only a problem if you're a dadgummit. You almost got me saying it now because you messed me up.
Did you see Grayson Waller when he came out, like his t-shirt said when he came out NXT tonight?
Oh no, I didn't see it.
It had Nepo Oos on it.
Oh, Grayson Waller has done a 180 for me personally, but
yeah, he's great.
Being a Nepo baby is only a problem when you try to deny that you're a Nepo baby. But I mean, the guy came out with AJ Styles logo. Like, he has to know that he's a Nepo baby.
You know what? That is a little weird. I don't like that. I don't like that, bro. Just like, he got AJ's logo. He got AJ's music. I don't know about that. Like, come on now.
Yeah. I think it's cool for like the first month. But after that, you got to branch out. You got to be Avery Styles.
Yeah.
Not AJ's son.
Yeah. That was a little too far fetched. Does he know? You know what? This probably be a deep cut, but all my longtime fans of WWE, WWF, do you remember Jason Sensation, Micah, the guy that did the Owen Hart impression? You remember that? You remember the Nation of Domination spoof that DX did?
Oh, well, I do remember that, and I do
Okay.
remember.
Do you remember the guy that did Owen Hart, Jason Sensation? You know who that is?
Yeah,
Does he not look like Avery Styles? Go
I
look at
gotta
the
pull.
picture real
I'm
quick,
about to
man.
say I gotta pull up a
Yeah,
side by side here.
pull up the picture of him impersonating Owen Hart. Pull up that picture. Does
Oh,
that not look like Avery Styles? Come on, man. That's Avery Styles.
oh man, what does he
This
say in the promo? I can't remember what he says.
I am not a nugget. And then he just
That's it. I
yeah.
am not a nugget. He sounds just like Owen Hart too. God rest his soul, but he sounds just like him.
Bro, he looks just like Avery Styles, but
Ugh,
somebody pointed that out on
yeah,
Twitter. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
that's a little rough.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean, people hating on it. I think it's a good signing. I mean, the guy's 19. He's obviously athletic. He's trying to, get his feet up under him. And TNA, people get mad, but TNA need all the wrestlers they can get.
they need youth too. They need young guys. Like, there's only so much you can't lean on Dolph and Jeff Hardy for it forever. Even though those
Yeah.
guys are talented, they can still go. But at some point, we got to push Ricky Sosa. At some point, we got to get Avery Styles to the main event scene. At some point, we got to go all in on Leon Slater. Like, we need guys like that.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're not going to be able to do that because you're not going to be able to get everybody to that main event scene at a consistent level because there's two heavy hitters in the wrestling business, and you're like directly number 3 in the United States. So it's hard to keep those main event guys without, AEW or WWE scooping them up. But bro, we need young guys. We need younger guys to thrive. So, and we need a competent third promotion to rely on, man.
Yeah, we got to stop. Like, the thing is, and it sucks, but you can't, like, be afraid to push these guys in fear of that they're going to leave. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you still got to push them. And like TNA pushed AJ Styles for all those years. And yes, some of it was stop start. But they weren't afraid that AJ would. I'm sure they were afraid, but it didn't show on the TV. And I feel like that's the way they've kind of been with Leon Slater. And admittedly, he's made a lot of WWE one shots, on and off, and he's probably gone when his contract comes up. But that doesn't mean that you just have to stun him and cut his nuts off. You know what I mean? Just so, oh well, hopefully he doesn't go. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Stop
I would
being
just go all in.
Yeah, stop being afraid. Give him the big offer whenever he comes, due. And if he goes to WWE or AEW, you can say you did what you could at the end of the day.
Bro, I just don't see why more guys are using TNA as that option to. You could be like a main event top star in TNA if you're like a middle card guy in AEW. Like, you can't tell me that if you put Takeshita right there in TNA that he wouldn't be a main event top star for that company.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
if I'm
absolutely
like
would.
a guy like that, I would be looking to go to a TNA.
I think
Especially
it's
if the money
probably
is on that level. I know it's probably not, but I mean, you could do a lot of rehab to your image by being the top guy in TNA.
Yeah, I think it's probably a money thing because, like, again, you could go be Ciampa, probably making, I don't know, what do you guess? 150, 200? Or,
In AEW?
oh, yeah, I'm
No, he's getting
sure.
paid more than that. He's getting paid more than that.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I'm sure AEW probably paid him probably like 900K, bro.
What?
Like the contracts are inflated now. Have you not, bro? Roman's getting paid 10 million a year, 11 million a year.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, bro, the contracts ain't what they used to be. It used to be 150 if you're on the main roster. It's not that no more. It's way inflated. I don't know how they're doing WWE contracts now, but AEW's been known to. I don't want to say overpay for guys because nobody's drawing houses like they used to anymore. And there's so much money with the TV contracts now. I mean, guys are gonna get paid, and they're getting paid. They're getting paid a lot.
Well, I mean, I want to say that the NXT contracts are like 75, 80.
I buy
So
that. I believe that.
I would assume that TNA is probably somewhere in that ballpark. You know, it's probably not a whole lot. Now, obviously, Dolph is probably making,
Oh yeah,
you know, more than that.
yeah.
But if you're a Ricky Sosa and Avery Styles, you're probably coming in at about 75.
Okay, and you get well, you gotta live in Florida at that point, which is not a good deal, but at least you'll be based off in one city pretty much. They do all their shows at the Impact Zone, right?
I think they
They
travel
jump
now.
around. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Well, they don't do. Actually, you know what? They're coming to our neck of the woods coming up. So,
Oh, yeah. Like deep
we're
in
gonna
our neck of the woods.
we're gonna go to that.
It's on a freaking weekday. Like,
Oh,
it's so odd.
Micah got to participate in capitalism, huh?
Yeah,
Man, go
you know.
support your local graps, Micah. Capitalism can wait.
We'll see what happens. We'll see how things shake
Okay,
out.
all right.
Only have so much PTO, but you know, you told me when we worked together a long time ago, you told me you was at PTO today because you might not be here tomorrow.
yeah, okay, all right. You gotta make time for graps, Micah. Graps
Yeah.
comes first. For the sickos, tell me.
Well, what's next up on our Scoop 5?
Scoop 5 week. Oh no. Well, it's time, Micah. WWE and ESPN.
Ah,
Now you went out there and you made a video earlier before all the facts came out. So what I'm going to do, Micah, is lay out everything, the timeline that happened, and I want you to give a follow-up statement. Maybe you've had a different change of, perception in the last 12 hours or so, but only 1 year into the ESPN 5-year deal. Wait, hold. Let me back up a little bit. This is from BJ Bethel. BJ Bethel, the infamous guy that reported that AEW Dynamite was getting 500,000 viewers on Max, the streaming site that AEW is under, not counting the actual numbers they get on TBS and TNT every week. But this is the same guy that reported that, and he's reporting for SC Scoops now, I believe. But the article that he sent out was only 1 year into the ESPN 5-year deal to air World Wrestling Entertainment events on its unlimited app, the network won't be renewing the contract when it expires. Multiple sources told SC Scoops the deal faced several problems, including the current media market, culture, and synergy, issues between the two companies, and the failure of cable providers to pick up the cost of the app for the consumers or the customers. And they sent out an update a couple hours later, Micah, because a guy from ESPN, I believe he's the communications CEO or something to that effect. Ben Corfado of ESPN tweeted the following statement: "There is no truth to the report that we have decided not to renew. They never checked with us before publishing, and we would have told them that it was completely false." And then BJ Bethel actually replied to this, Mike. And BJ put, "I tried contacting ESPN through support.espn.com/HC/EN-US/RE." So he contacted the support line, Micah, off the website. And he did that last night before reporting the story. And apparently, he also left the voicemail on the support phone line. In fairness, I forgot about previous correspondence with Ben in April and his email, or I would have contacted him there. I'm also standing by my story. So he claims to have contacts at ESPN, Micah, but he had to contact the support helpline. So I don't know. What do you make of all this, Micah?
Well, you know what they say. There's always two sides to every story. And I think the dude jumped the shark a little bit, obviously. However,
he's done that a lot.
Let me play a little devil's advocate, because when the whole Warner Brothers Discovery thing came out, certain talking heads would come out and say, well, no, there's no fear for AEW. And I said, well, maybe there's not fear right now, but there's the potential for there to be fear. And I know that a couple people are saying no, but maybe we're going to zig when everybody zags. My thought process with the ESPN stuff is, obviously they're not going to admit to being sour about the deal 1 year in, because that just doesn't breed a good environment for everybody. If they're feeling that way, it's probably just between the top executives at the Mouse.
No, but you can't claim that you have sources for ESPN and then your source turn out to be the contact support helpline. Like that's you can't be a competent journalist if your source is at the helpline. Like, don't you agree with that?
Definitely. I think the dude probably just shouldn't have said anything.
He didn't think you know what? He didn't think ESPN was going to respond.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't think it was going to get as much traction as it did, but yeah, it was everywhere. They had to make a statement. ESPN did.
So again, I don't think that it's one of those things that is a legitimate conversation that ESPN is coming up to them and saying, all right, guys, we're getting cold feet already. That's probably not happening. And does this guy really know anything? Probably not. But it could.
He sent a DM to Stephen A. Smith and Pat McAfee at 3 a.m. Hey, if ESPN is going to drop WWE, don't respond. And he just ran with the story.
Yeah.
You see that happening?
Good enough. Sources told me.
There you go.
Sources didn't deny it. But I do genuinely think, especially with the price hike coming, which I forgot about, but they're pricing up ESPN Unlimited. I think that it could be a conversation that we hear about, realistically, maybe 3 years into the deal.
Look, man, I know a lot of wrestling fans don't care about sports, but let me tell you something. That ESPN deal, it comes with Disney, and you get all the college football games. You get a lot of the NBA games. You get a lot of NFL games. I think that's a pretty good deal, man. If I'm being honest.
I mean, it's not.
And you get
It's not bad. I would already have Disney and Hulu, so that's $20 right there. And on top of that, I do like some college football. I usually get YouTube TV anyways, just because it just makes everything easier. But I will say this. Most wrestling fans are not me and you.
Are basement dwellers. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Not our fans. Our fans are not basement dwellers. You guys are cool. I like you guys.
But most wrestling fans, I don't feel care about sports outside of WWE.
They probably like the ironic people that call it sports ball and cheer for a touchdown when it's a home run or something, just to try to be funny. You know those type of people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't rock with it. Immediately kills the entire vibe of a watch party. But I don't know that there's a lot of crossover there. And so I don't know that this deal interests people. Plus, on top of all that, you're already paying an extra $10 outside of this membership for Netflix just to get Raw. And then if you want to watch SmackDown live, you got to have a cable subscription on top of that. And it's just a lot, man. So if it was all seamless, like everything, library and all was on ESPN, and I could pay $30 for that, plus Disney and Hulu, cool. And here's the thing, too. If they brought the network back, I kid you not, I'd pay $25 a month for it. If they had everything on it, I'd pay for it. You know what I mean? Because it's just annoying trying to find everything. And then you get just absolutely like bombarded with ads on ESPN. And then, oh, I'm going to watch AAA. Well, you don't have YouTube Premium? Okay, here's 3 ads during the match. Like, it's absurd. And that's my issue.
I was going to say, Micah, that's just the state of sports in general nowadays. I know a lot of people not, if you're a wrestling fan, just strictly a wrestling fan, you really don't understand that this is what sports is now. Like, look how many subscription services you have to keep up with the NFL, bro. I think it's like 5. You have to have like 5 subscriptions to watch every single NFL game this year.
Yeah.
Or if you're an NBA fan, crank that up to 4 subscriptions that you have to watch the NBA. Like, it's just, that's what it's the days of just having cable and, you be able to watch anything you want, those days are over. They're milking every consumer of every single cent they have left, and they don't care about the viewing experience. They only care about the bottom line.
Kid you not, I'm reading this book in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe called No Coincidence. And it was talking about one of the characters today, and he was like at his apartment, just chilling, trying to live like an easy life. And it was literally just like ad because he was watching TV, and it was like playing like, the first couple lines of an ad, like he was skipping the channels. And then it was like, oh, okay, I finally found a show. And then it was like, turns out it was just an ad disguised as a TV show. And I was like, dude, this is genuinely what it feels like right now to watch anything.
Yeah. Bro, you go to the gas pump, you're getting advertised to. You cannot escape ads.
No.
It's more and more.
I mean, you're right. That's just the world we live in, but it doesn't mean I have to accept it. And again, I'm just going to say this. In 5 years from now, if we're watching WWE on Paramount, I wouldn't be surprised. And that's ultimately what WWE is going to do now. And that's, you know what? That's what they do. They get their TV rights deal, and that's cool. Because the minute that ESPN or NBC isn't pimping out hard enough for them, they're going to go whore themselves to some other brand company that's willing to shell out $2 billion for WWE. It's just what they do.
Bro, it's I'm not saying we should accept it either, but this is the world we're living in, and something's got to happen. Maybe it'll be soon, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll stay updated on this story. Do you got anything else to add for this debacle of a journalist integrity that BJ Bethel has, Micah?
Nah, I'll just say that wrestling journalism is at an all-time low.
What did Punk say? People pretend to be journalists and run with fake stories.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? At least BJ Bethel can go back to covering high school sports in his hometown. But we move on, Micah. It's a little bit of that's a smaller scoop, but one that I thought needed a little shout out. Batista has been casted as Kratos. Micah, you seen this?
I did.
Yeah, the casting follows an onset bicep injury sustained by Ryan Hurst, requiring surgery, and complete reshoots of Kratos' scenes. The project had received a 2-season order from Amazon, MGM Studios, and Sony Pictures Television, with Ronald D. Moore attached as the showrunner. But, Micah, is this a slam dunk casting? Do you think they missed out on casting Tommaso Ciampa in this role? What do you think?
I've always thought Triple H was perfect. If they wanted to do a God of War, they should have done it like 2014 because Triple H was perfect during that time.
Or like a Braun Strowman? He kind of fits the bill with it.
Yeah. With Batista, I love Batista. I think he's a great actor. I think he's the best wrestler actor.
Yeah, I like Batista.
But he had just slimmed down. So
I think he beefed back up. He shot a movie before this where he had to get a little more jacked. I don't know, but
yeah, I the last picture I saw of him, he was pretty thin, but again, that's been maybe a year or so. I'm interested to see how they do it. My first pick for Kratos would not have been Batista, but either way,
who's
he's
your first pick?
no,
Who's your
Triple
first
H.
pick? Oh, it's got Triple H. Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but
They're about the same age.
yeah, I just I don't know. I'll be there either way. I did see a picture where they put the World Heavyweight Championship on Kratos. That popped me. But I think it's hard, man. Like when you do video game, this is the last thing I'll say, and then I'll let you say.
Go ahead.
It's hard when you do video game TV shows, when you do them based off characters already within it. Like Halo struggled with that, right? Fallout is excellent because it's just an all original story. And even then, a lot of the diehard fans, like I love New Vegas, it's my favorite Fallout game. A lot of the diehard fans, oh my God, they did this to Caesar's Legion and the Brotherhood, and they cast this guy to play this, and I don't like it. And I get it, but you have to have some liberties with it. But I feel like it's much harder whenever you have like established characters or established stories and you try to adapt them to a TV show rather than just making something in that universe.
You a fan of the Last of Us TV show?
I've never watched it because I've never played them.
You didn't? Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, it's I think he'll do all right. But yeah, it's gonna be the diehard fans. It's gonna get well, that's not how Kratos would have did it in the second game. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's gonna make a lot of people mad, but I think it's gonna make a lot of money, and it's gonna be entertaining. We love Batista here, but I think that's it from our Scoop 5, Micah. Unless you got anything you want to add in, or you ready to talk about some wrestling?
Well, I'll just say this. Batista is better than Randy Orton and Edge. We were talking about that off camera, but well, we're always off camera, but you know.
Oh, well, of course, Batista's better. He's always been better than those guys.
But we got to talk about some actual wrestling on this show. We can't just talk about rumors and innuendos.
And you know what? This is rare, but we do have a good mixture of matches and segments to talk about. Usually we'll just have one or the other. But yeah. I thought it was all around. It was a pretty solid week.
Yeah, I think, like you said, there's a lot to get through. And I personally, obviously AEW has a lot going on because All In. I feel like this is the best WWE has been probably all year. Like just the past couple shows feel consistent. They feel like there's a concerted effort to put on good TV. And I feel like it's very much showing, at least to me. There's things I'm interested in, and hopefully that comes across when we break this down. But All In is this upcoming Sunday. So this wasn't the Go Home show that we're talking about, but this is the Go Home show for the Go Home show. AEW Dynamite last week. And we're going to start off really talking about the two biggest feuds going in. But to start us off, we've got the sit down between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Before I get into any of this, My favorite thing that I saw all week on any wrestling TV, or I'm sorry, not TV, but wrestling IWC, whatever you want to call it. The picture online of Kenny and Ospreay, it's too late, William. I've already drawn you as the woke cuck and myself as the based Chad. That junk, I was dying at that. It's the face too, because on the thumbnail, Omega is just calm, cool, and collected, and Ospreay is yelling. Oh, but nonetheless, they were sitting down with Renee Paquette, kind of running down the past couple weeks, their history together, and what things looked like going in.
Were they arguing over who had it harder in Japan? Was this the crux of the argument here?
Part of it.
I performed in front of fans that couldn't say anything, bruv. They couldn't even clap, bruv. Like, what was the point of this, Mike? Did you understand this? What's he so mad at? Like, I'm with Kenny here. Like, bro, calm down. Who cares? I didn't see what happened in Japan. Why should I care about that?
I didn't understand that part of it because to me, it wasn't even so much that they brought it up. It was more so that I'm more sympathetic to Kenny than I am Ospreay. Because in Kenny's situation, Kenny was an EVP of a company that was just starting up, having to go through something that really nobody's ever seen before in the wrestling industry. I mean, they didn't know that they would survive. They just started, the company just started doing live shows. Now you got to figure all this out, make it work every week. And meanwhile, Ospreay is just wrestling. And I get that that was difficult. Don't get me wrong. I know that, it's not easy not knowing when your next paycheck's coming, but
bro, we all had to go through the pandemic. What makes him so special?
I guess
you think that he was the only one living that experience?
I guess because, well, truthfully, I don't know.
Why do I feel bad? Yeah, why am I supposed to feel bad about that?
I guess maybe it's something you could be sympathetic towards because we all went through it, but that was my first thought was like, Ospreay was like, you don't know what it's like. And I'm like, I think Kenny absolutely knew what it was like because Kenny also at this time was going to AAA, to TNA, wrestling in AEW, like doing all this stuff in front of the same no audience, no nothing, like low-key leading AEW because he was world champion throughout all this time.
But Ospreay put himself in those situations too because couldn't bro just like move to Japan? He chose to stay in England and to quarantine for 2 weeks coming back to England. Like he could just move to Japan, couldn't he?
I mean, I don't know what the requirements were over there because them not being able to clap is kind of crazy.
But he won't even move to the US now. He wants to stay in the UK. That's his fault. Somebody's telling him to take 15-hour flights. Move to Florida, pal. Everybody's in Tampa. You can't move to Tampa. Clearwater's nice. A lot of Scientology out there. Yeah, we've been out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that angle was kind of weird. I know some people liked it because they were like, well, wrestlers don't talk about COVID a whole lot, but like, I don't know, man. I didn't feel, again, and that's honestly the story of this whole feud, right? Because I see what they're doing here. I see what they're going for, but I can't seem to get it out of my mind that they're trying to swap these roles so fast. Because going into this, Ospreay was a heel who was with the Death Riders. That was the story they were telling. Omega, a month ago, maybe a month and a half, wins the world championship as the sympathetic babyface going against MJF, on his last dollar. This is it. That's all he had because if he had lost, no world championship opportunities anymore. And it's like in a month, they want me to completely change my feelings and feel like Ospreay is the guy that I should have sympathy for. Ospreay's the sympathetic babyface, and now Kenny is the egotistical douchebag. I just don't understand that flip. And it's like, if you knew all these months ahead of time that this is the angle you were going to run with, why were you even giving me the story of Ospreay with the Death Riders? Why were you even putting Omega in a sympathetic babyface role against MJF where it's like, oh, this is his last opportunity and he's been sick, and oh, I'm so glad I get to see one last Omega World Championship run, because that's what that was kind of billed as. And now, a month later, you want me to see Will Ospreay take the title off this guy? Well, I just felt bad for him. You know what I mean? This whole thing has just been very, very confusingly booked. Just poorly booked, in my opinion.
I think it would have way more hype if they just didn't even shoot anything and they just announced the match 8 weeks ago, and they never interacted. Both guys get kept off TV, and we just have hype packages for the lead up. I think the bill would have been 10 times better if they just did that. But yeah, we keep on going further and further into this build, and I don't know. It feels like they want like shades of gray type characters, but bro, can we just have a heel and a baby face, man? Give me a straight heel and give me a straight baby face. Please? Do we do that anymore in main event wrestling? Micah?
Well,
Can't do it in WWE.
They're doing it with Monet and Willow, and that story's blowing this out of the water because of that.
Are we too sophisticated? Like, we can't do heels and baby faces anymore?
Everybody's got to be an anti-hero, man. Everybody has to be
cool. A cool heel.
Yeah. And again, we had an obvious heel and an obvious babyface. You knew months ago that Ospreay was going to be the challenger going into All In. Why even put him on that run where he was going to be a heel with the Death Riders? I can't make that make sense. Overall, I did think that this segment was solid just in a vacuum. I thought that Omega shutting down the diverticulitis talk, like, finally, thank God. I'm so sick. And he even was like, I'm sick of Excalibur and Shivani and all them constantly mentioning it. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, because oh my God, it aggravates me. I get it. Diverticulitis. Can we move on? And then not only that, I think that on the show here, we got to start keeping a tally of how many feuds have the basis of I want you at your best. Because that's what they said here.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about the ending segment?
Well, what were your thoughts on it? I'll just say that.
I was just... Bro, couldn't you have done this next week? It went on for so long. And this came at the end of a Kenny Omega tag match with the Young Bucks and the Don Callis family, which you knew the Don Callis family had no shot of beating Kenny and the Bucks. But then, Micah, you went 30 plus minutes into an overrun. Like, I don't catch Dynamite live, but I decided to catch Dynamite live last week. And I kid you not, I had to text you and ask, bro, what time do they start Dynamite? Because this is still going on. It was like 10:40 at that point. And it just went on way too long. Omega tried to get the fans to, I guess, react to him because he finally dropped the curse word, Micah. Did you hear that? Dropped the B word. That's Okada's gimmick. Yeah,
you know, he's usually register.
He's usually G Willikers, guys. He usually doesn't. What the heck, stuff like that. But yeah, he cursed at Ospreay, and then he had to put him through the table, such as they do. And he started acting like a Looney Tunes character at the end. I guess he was speaking Japanese to Will. I don't know. You could hardly hear what he was saying because the audio had some issues. But Crowd just didn't react. They just stood there. No cheers, no boos, no cheers, because nobody knows who's the heel, nobody knows who the babyface is.
Yeah, I just, man, it's very frustrating. I feel like Ospreay has kind of been exposed as a top guy, if we're being completely honest. And I just, this is like straight booking malpractice, because why is the Don Callis family even involved in this? Like, we're, we got one more Dynamite until All In, and it's tomorrow night or tonight, whenever you're listening to it. And like the week before, we're going to have 2 6-man tag matches where I know the winner. They're facing job guys. Ospreay is in there with the 2 guys from New Japan that like won't ever be with him again.
Nobody knows. And nobody knows who they were.
Yeah, and it's just it's booking malpractice, man. There's no excuse for it. And I'll segue this into what to me has been what this Ospreay Kenny feud should have been, and that's Monet and Willow, because this is great stuff. It's properly built. Everything is linear, has years of history where, Willow's constantly the one taking the belts off Mercedes, like she was talking about in this promo. Willow was smiling after Mercedes, potentially had her career ended because of that injury. So much goes into this because they have years of history together, just like Omega and Ospreay. And I hate you. I don't want you at your best. I want to beat you at All In. Is that crazy? Is that such a crazy, we're 4D chess booking this, right? Like, Jesus Christ, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. A clear heel, a clear babyface. The fans love Willow. They hate Mercedes. They get into an all-out brawl that spills into the ring. Security can't seem to split them up. They hate each other. It's great. And at the end of the day, you don't know who's going to win this match. Just like I'm pretty sure that Ospreay is going to win. But there's an ounce of doubt that I have that Omega could win. But with this, I truly don't know. And so it pisses me off, because this is what I say about AEW all the time. AEW has all the freaking ingredients. They've got the teriyaki chicken and the vegetables and the rice and the stir fry. It's all right there. It's all right there. But they cannot put it together.
Yeah. That's pretty much, you summed it up perfectly, man. They want to be, a gourmet buffet. How about we just stick to what we can do the best and not add in these extra elements that aren't needed and that you're not really gourmet yet?
Yeah, it's just frustrating. Like I said, it's not, people take it so left field when you have any criticism for AEW, and that's not what it should be, man. It should just be
the tribalism is at an all-time high. And I've been following the IWC for a long time, Micah. The tribalism's never been this high. It is like anything negative towards AEW is a direct attack on AEW. And if you criticize AEW, you're fed shield. You bought tickets to see AEW before, you watched the product on a weekly basis, and still, even if you've done all those things, you're still fed shield when you criticize the booking of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of this recently on Twitter, because there was a guy, I kid you not, he's a big AEW fan, which he watches WWE too, but He's mainly interested in AEW, has a lot of glowing things to say about him. Twitter name is at 7700 Saint. Good guy, right? I like his takes most of the time. Good guy. And he literally just tweeted a picture of the All In card and said, meh. And oh my God, pitchforks out, guns blazing. We got the swords. We're coming to get you. Seize him. Like, and he replied back to the tweet. He said, I literally just said meh. He said, the card just doesn't move me that much. He was like, I'm going to watch it. I'm sure I'll like it. He said, but there's just nothing on this card that just, I'm so interested in seeing. And then later he was like, dude, you can't criticize this company. You can't say anything negative about them. And I saw somebody else say this, and this is probably the smartest take I've seen about the IWC in a long time. WWE fans are tribal, but AEW fans are just WWE fans with a superiority complex because they watch other wrestling.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure about that. I don't think people watch CMLL as people claim. I don't think as many people watch that.
No, I think there's a certain subsection because I'll be dang if I don't post AAA reviews every week and not a whole lot of people show up for it. You know why? Because it's not AEW and it's not the main roster WWE. So you mean to tell me that many people are going to watch? Like they watch that in New Japan, and that's probably it. And then they go back and watch like old Ring of Honor. But
yeah, and I don't even think they're watching New Japan at this point.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. Like you said, tribalism's at an all-time high. I hate that we derailed from the Monet Willow segment. Because that was excellent. And I love that. I thought that was the best thing on the show. I'm so excited to see these ladies wrestle at All In. It's like the one match that I'm just like really excited to see. And
yeah, they could tear the house down.
I think they will. I think they'll have a match of the year contender. I think they'll have the best match of the night, really.
Yeah, they did it was some good stuff. One nitpick is probably because they rely a little too much on the B word, man. I feel like everybody in all of wrestling, this is the epidemic. Like if you're gonna say something intimidating in your promo, you add the B word at the end. Like, I don't know. It just seems lazy.
Yeah, I did think that like Mercedes was kind of spamming it. Low key, I think Willow's a better promo than her.
Oh, that's not low key at all, man. Monet, look, man, great wrestler, but she has been notorious for her bad promos for the last 10 plus years. She gets too much of the drama class stuff and the written stuff and the scripts. And hey, man, ain't no shade, but it kind of does sound like she got like peanut butter in the roof of her mouth. I don't know. She's never been a good promo at all, but she's great in the ring, and she has a lot of fans. So shout out her. But yeah, Willow is a superior promo. So Willow probably, you know what? I'll go out on a limb. I say Willow's the best promo in that division. I'm putting her over Tekla.
Oh, yeah. She's 100% over Tekla. I'd go far to say...
We were just talking about spamming the B word. That's prime number one. Tekla and Okada, number two. She's overtaking Okada.
I would go as far to say Willow might be top 3 promo in wrestling. I'm sorry, in women's wrestling.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Becky. Who's number 2? Oh wait,
Willow's
Liv.
right there.
I think Liv's top 3 promo.
I put her and Willow in the same category.
I don't think it's that much.
Rhea can be good.
I'm putting Willow over Rhea.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't hate that take. I'm just saying I think Rhea can be a good promo, but
yeah,
nonetheless,
we're splitting hairs here. It was a good segment overall. If you
It
didn't watch
was.
anything from that Dynamite, I'd say check out. Well, I'd just say maybe skip to the end. If you're gonna watch the Willow Monet segment, yeah, and just skip to the end with Osprey and Omega because you don't need to sit through those 2 6-man tag matches.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, though. We got All In this weekend. We're going to talk about that next week. But we move on from AEW and we move to Friday Night SmackDown, which I don't know if it's the inclusion of Punk or the firing of Road Dogg, but this show has been much better over the past month or so.
Like a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Yeah. And they started us off with a little back and forth segment, which just started in the backstage area with Sammy, but we're mainly going to talk about Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, continuing where they left off from last week. Cody is in the ring, calls out Randy, and Randy, hears the call out, comes out, and they're immediately arguing. Aldis gets in between them. The first thing I like here, Ryan, the stipulation to not be able to fight until then, I enjoy because it kind of bridges as well that both of these guys are still, they have their eyes on each other, but they're still looking for the WWE championship. And so I thought that was a good stipulation to put on this feud right now.
You think about Cody using the line, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. You think about Cody using that?
I wrote it down. I said Paul Heyman reference.
Your ears perk up a little bit. Can you see it?
I mean, I could, and
Mr. Heyman, they got ties together.
I don't know if you remember this, but I want to say an article came out or maybe an interview that said that they have told Cody whenever he wants to pull the heel trigger, he's got the word.
There you go. There you go. Imagine that. Cody Rhodes, the Golden Boy, linking up with Paul Heyman to hold on to his top spot in the company. I think that'd be box office.
Yeah. And I think Cody is one of those guys that doesn't necessarily need Heyman. He can cut promos on his own, but he could be one of those guys that, is like a Punk. Like it just enhances the act. So I did wonder about that. It would have to be a double turns type situation, but the fans still love Randy. I think it could work.
It's crazy. Bro is a straight heel, but the crowd just refuses to boo him.
Yeah, he's just in that legend status. And I think the Paul Heyman reference, if it is, what they're going for, would help Cody a lot. I think the babyface gimmick's stale. And I even wrote here that he's got to drop the QB1 shtick. We got to drop the catchphrases because a week ago or 2 weeks ago, they were, at each other's throat. I thought it was the best Cody promo I've heard in a long time because they were talking like actual people. But, I don't need to hear, well, I'm the QB1 and that means that I'm like, I don't need to hear that, man. Just tell me that you don't like Randy and you're going to kill him. Simple enough.
I don't know if he's QB1 anymore. I think Punk's been QB1 for a while now. He's doing all the house shows. He's going to the NXT shows. He's doing the PR. He's going to ESPN. Like CM Punk, I feel like has surpassed Cody. Am I just being a Punk fanboy, Micah, by saying CM Punk has surpassed Cody? As far as like the corporate man, like PR guy that you send out there.
I don't think so. And not only that, when Cody had the world title, I don't remember a single feud that was as interesting as Punk and KO even. And that was just a 3-week TV feud.
CM Punk has had far superior matches as world champion too.
Yeah, well, 3-star general.
Yeah, there you go. There's
But
levels to this.
yeah, overall, I thought it was a good segment. We can move on to a little. I don't even know how to broach this one, right?
I
So
wanted you to check this out. There was a little controversy on this online.
yeah, I'll break it down, but we see Blake Monroe backstage getting ready for her match. She kind of talks about, well, this is her debut match on the main roster, and she talks about picking an outfit, but she feels like this whole thing is beneath her because she needs to be fighting for a world title. And later on, we see her and Julia. Julia comes out ready for her match, and Blake runs behind her, attacks her, throws her in the ring, hits a couple moves, and they call the match off. So, Ryan, do you want to run down the controversy
Yeah,
of
I was
this?
just a lot of people were mad about this, Micah, saying that they're wasting Julia, they're wasting Blake. This is Blake's debut match, and you can't even give her a match in her debut match. So I don't know. I just feel like it was a lot of bad faith, like online. People that didn't watch the show are commenting on this. And you got the people in the comments that always say they use the Tony Storm line about she'll be sentenced to a lifetime mediocrity. Even though this is clearly building to a Chelsea Green match, right, Micah? She's been calling out Chelsea Green.
You would think.
She's called out the champion. She says she's WWE champion material. I don't know. Is she calling out CM Punk?
Yeah, I
I don't know.
mean,
I feel like a lot of people that didn't watch the show are commenting it. Like, you got the weirdo Julia fans out there. They want her to just quit the Fed and come to AEW.
well, here's the thing with that as well. They love to push the women's wrestlers like almost immediately. Look at Stephanie Vaquer, look at Sol Ruka. Like they love to put them in those big spots. I feel like they're probably doing that with Blake, but maybe the Chelsea injury hampered it a little bit. Not only that, for the people sharing the Tony Storm clip, oh, she can live it. Ryan, do you remember when Blake was champion in AEW or Mariah at the time, and she was never on PLE, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it? Like, never defended that title. They just saved her for Tony Storm.
She had feuds, but they were just like they were nothing feuds. Like I'll never forget. It was after a pay-per-view. It was a press scrum. They had Mariah May at the time. They had her come out there and take questions from the so-called journalists, the media, the wrestling media, and they had no questions for her. Like I could not believe. Like you couldn't just come up with one on the spot. Nobody can really. She was the women's champion at the time, and nobody had any questions for her. It was just astonishing, and they just had nothing for her until Tony Storm got back. Nothing interesting, at least. But of course, she's being fumbled by the Fed. Mike. She's been fumbled by them, and when she wins a match, she'll be overpushed. When she loses a match, she'll be buried. And of course, Micah, you know the line. She'll be sentenced to a lifetime mediocrity. And by the way, where's Tony Storm?
I don't know. I don't think it ever came out about what her injury was or if it was pregnancy. That's what was floated, but I don't know.
She's hiding in the house. Nobody got a picture of Tony Storm?
I don't know. And look, I'm not excusing that Blake is not wrestling. I do think it's a little ridiculous. She probably should have had this match and just beat Julia, even though it would have pissed everybody off because Julia, she should be pushed. So you're kind of danged if you do, danged if you don't. But at the end of the day, man, you can't get online and say all this about Mariah or Blake and act like AEW didn't do the same thing. Like I literally remember her not having a PLE match I keep saying that for AW. I'm so used to it because I've been talking about the ESPN
Fed
WWE
pill.
deal.
You took the red pill, Micah.
Yeah, the Fed pill. So when she was in AEW, I remember her not having a pay-per-view match for a champagne celebration or whatever. And I couldn't
Yeah,
tell
I
you
forgot
one
about
feud that she had. So it's just hypocritical. What did we say earlier?
Bro.
Tribalism at an all-time high.
And you know what? It's insane. The the visceral, the reaction that certain people get, and that is a Blake Monroe, that's Jade Cargill, that's a Ricky Saints, that's a Royce Keys, that's a CM Punk. All these guys get like just more hate than anyone else on the roster, and I don't know, Mike. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why.
I don't know. Even Santana, who didn't
Mm,
immediately jump to WWE.
mm. I don't know, Micah. I think the only one that has escaped the criticism is Ethan Page. He's the only one.
Weirdly enough, which I mean,
Yeah,
Ethan's great, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I
We
also
move
thought it
on.
was kind of stupid that they didn't just start the match because literally in AAA, like the night after this, remember Bronco met Penta in the entranceway and then they fought in the ring and just started the match. And
Well, it's different GMs run the shows differently, Micah.
yeah, Ray just lets anything happen down there. He almost
Yeah.
got choke slammed this week.
Well, he's a
But
deadbeat dad. Are you surprised?
yeah. Hello, Roman. Did you know that I run AAA?
I do
News to
now.
me. Yes. God. Oh, anyways, we move on to the WWE Championship main event match. CM Punk versus Kevin Owens. First off, Punk getting booed. I had to hit the Dwayne right there in my living room while I was watching this.
He was loving it.
Oh yeah, and I loved it because I love to see CM Punk getting booed. I still want one heel run,
We don't
but
do that.
no heels
Heels?
and baby faces.
What's that?
Depends on the city. But overall, I thought this match was great.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it
Excellent.
really doesn't get a whole lot better for a TV main event in WWE. Just a true feeling. Everybody expected CM Punk to win, right? But a true feeling that maybe KO could pull this off just for like a week or
I,
something.
you know what? I don't know about that. That near fall at the end,
Oh,
that
that got
had me,
me.
bro. That 2.9 kick out, I was right there on the edge of my seat.
And they would have had an excuse too, which they love to do. We got to do our ref bumps, but yeah, they had the excuse, to run it back because KO would have done that behind the ref's back and da da da. So great stuff, and I thought the finish was great, telling a good story. The guys were legit, like the same way with the promo, right? The match felt like it just had a little extra oomph. I think even Joe Test said it on commentary. Every strike, every move just felt like it had a little bit of just hatred in there. And I thought that was great. CM Punk continues the campaign for Wrestler of the Year. And obviously, Ryan, the big talking point, the finish.
Yeah, Sammy tried to help KO. KO didn't want the help. So Sammy decided to just, you know what? All right, I'm gonna help CM Punk. And just clocks KO. And now it seems like I don't know how long Sammy's gonna be out for injury. I don't know. He's still got that hurt arm or wrist situation. But it seems like we're just getting that one-off match with KO and CM Punk that I really didn't want. I wanted this to be like a 2 or 3 month long feud. But it seems like we're getting Sammy and KO again, which they have good matches. They have a good program. But part of me wishes that this would continue with just KO and CM Punk. But I am holding out hope, Micah, that this will turn to a three-way match and maybe it culminates at Money in the Bank, and maybe KO wins the title there and gets cashed in on the same night. I can see something like that happening. But yeah, it was a great match overall. It's just I could have done without the ref bump. I feel like we're ref bumped out.
So it's
But
what we do.
it's what we do. Probably the second best match of the week. Maybe first, but that Raw match that we're going to talk about later, that was really, really good too. But
Yeah.
I'll throw it back to you, Mike.
Well, two things out of what you just said, Ryan. I'm not big on Sammy KO again. And my only reason is this was the feud
Play
that
it
we
out.
left off of when KO got hurt. And so to come back, I just feel like there's a lot more fresh things that he can do. Like you said, a lengthy Punk feud. I was down for that. But my follow-up, Ryan, if they don't make it a three-way and they split it off, Sammy KO do their thing, who's next for Punk?
That's interesting. Randy's tied up with Cody.
Do you
I
run
can't.
back
I don't even.
Gunther?
You circle back. He's not doing anything. I don't see why you can't do like a little fall feud with Gunther. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the next best heel on the roster. Besides Sammy, is Gunther. I can't
Do
even
you,
think of anybody else other than Gunther right now.
do you run it back with Drew? I know he's been off TV for a long time.
Oh, that's interesting. Has it been long enough though?
I don't think it's been long enough for a lengthy feud,
I
but
kind of
a
want
couple
something fresh,
weeks.
man. I want something fresh.
Well, I'm trying to think who we
Is
have
there
right now
anybody
that's
we can?
fresh.
I was about to say, can we float anybody over there from Raw?
I mean, an Ethan Page feud would do good. Obviously, Oba's there, but they're gonna save that. He's
Yeah. A
tied
little too
up.
early for that. I don't know,
And
man.
off the top of my head, I would say Trick, but that kind of leads into my next
He's a
question.
babyface. He's a
Yeah.
babyface.
My next question was gonna be if they run the
Baron.
three-way at Money in the Bank.
Baron
Oh
Corbin.
no. Oh, don't even put that idea out there. But if they do run with Money in the Bank, say KO wins, who do you have right now as your Money in the Bank winner?
Right now, man, it's hard to deny Solo right now. He's getting over. I think Solo is probably the early favorite at the moment. And maybe a Javon. I can see that happening too. But right now, the closest thing to the main event picture is Solo. And he's got a newfound. The audience loves Solo now. So Money in the Bank probably would be his to lose at the moment. But then again, Micah, Money in the Bank's usually a heel concept.
Yeah.
So what heel do we have that you can see benefiting from that Money in the Bank briefcase?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, the first guy that popped into my mind, though he's not a heel, was Trick.
Okay.
But
Babyface now, though.
the first heel that popped in my mind,
You see a Braun Breaker?
nah, I was thinking Royce Keys.
Okay. I don't hate it.
Might be early,
Hey.
but you know what I mean? Like something fresh. Got a new group. Looks like
is.
$1 million.
I would be a fan of it.
So
I think Braun Breaker too. I think Braun Breaker is actually going to beat Obafemi, and I think it's going to be a one and done at the moment. But
you think he's gonna
you
beat Oba?
I do think he's going to beat Oba. But when you beat Oba, you get all that momentum, and you carry that in the Money in the Bank. He wins the Money in the Bank. Maybe Oba wins the title at Mania next year, and then Braun can cash in on Oba. I can see something like that happening. I can see it.
What about a theory?
Well, he already had it.
Yeah, but
I
they
would
made him
love
cash it in on the U.S. title.
Yes.
Poor
I would love it.
soul.
I would love that. I just don't. I don't think they see him in that main event type picture. I think they see him in that, mid card, upper mid card, until things change. You know what? Logan Paul. No, he's not really. He don't really have much momentum at the moment. So
Yeah, I think he's still
Logan
hurt
Paul
too.
would be nice. Logan Paul would be. I would like that as well. But Money in the Bank's usually a heel concept, so I'm just thinking heels here at the moment.
Yeah, because we really have two babyface world champions too. I mean, I don't freaking know what Roman is, but
Yeah,
whatever.
I was about to say, it depends on who's facing, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, Money in the Bank's interesting, and if nothing else, don't.
I'm just asking.
Don't freaking let him anywhere near the freaking Money in the Bank case. But no, if nothing else, it's unpredictable. I don't know where they're going right now with the WWE Championship main event scene because there's so many guys vying for it. Same with Money in the Bank. And that's what I'm saying, right? Talking about WWE, I feel like they're kind of hitting their stride. A lot of that is because it's unpredictable. I feel like I have to watch SmackDown to see what's going to happen. So I'm very interested in that scene right now. And some unpredictable stuff also happened on Monday Night Raw, which is where we'll segue to next. But they started us off with the contract signing, or at least for what we're going to start off with, the contract signing between Obafemi and Braun Breaker. Now, let me go on record and say something right quick, and you can attach this to me, Mr. Scoop, Micah. I'm saying this now, and I'll say it 5 years from now. I don't care what anybody will have you believe, but Obafemi is the number one top dog, absolute, most complete wrestler under 30 today. Move over.
Today? Oh, yeah, of course.
Move over Braun Breaker. I'm sorry, Kyle Fletcher. Everybody has one thing that I don't think that they can do well. I don't think Kyle is a great promo. I don't think Braun is a great promo. If you want to move into the ladies section of things, I don't think that Toni Storm is just a top-notch wrestler, and maybe her gimmick isn't for me. But Obafemi, promos, check. Look, check. Over, check. Can he have a good match? I know we haven't necessarily seen it on the main roster, but he's had good matches in NXT. Check. I can't find a single thing wrong with the guy.
Okay, are you counting MJF?
Well, he's not under 30 anymore.
Well, he was 29 this year.
Well, he's 30 now.
Okay, so if we roll back the clock, Micah, this is March of this year. MJF is still 29. Are you still saying the same thing?
No, I would still have MJF over Obafemi right now.
You put him over Oba.
I would. I think MJF is just a more complete wrestler.
If you're starting a company, you got to pick one, either of those guys to start it with. You're gonna get one.
I'm still gonna pick MJF.
You picking MJF over Oba?
I am. I think he has led AEW like multiple times. He's proven that he can lead a company. I love Oba. Like, he's my number 2 favorite right now. But I've just, like, MJF will give you 5-star matches. He'll give you great storylines. And I just haven't necessarily seen everything that Oba can do yet.
Well, you just said he was the most complete. And now you're saying you haven't seen everything he can do?
What I'm saying is
not?
He's complete, But I've seen
Yeah.
MJF lead a company. I hadn't seen Obafemi lead a company yet.
But we've seen MJF lead the company into the toilet. I mean, they've been dropping ratings like crazy over the last 8 years, Micah.
But they were picking up this year. They were doing some of their highest numbers when he was on top. In 2023, they sold out
Was that a high
Wembley.
bar to jump over?
It's better than nothing. It's better
Oh,
than what they were doing. He's better than
so
you, and you know it.
you're taking this 5'8"
Oh, come
like
on.
kind of, and I'm just saying, Mike, you're picking that over Braun. You're picking that over Oba.
Yes,
I don't
I would
think I
still
would
pick MJF over Obafemi.
I don't even think I would pick MJF over Braun, honestly.
Come on. Come on.
I just don't. I've seen everything he can do, and I feel like he hasn't developed enough in his. I hate to say this word, but his character. I feel like he hasn't developed
If MJF came to WWE right now, he'd be a main event star.
enough. No, sir. No, sir.
What?
No, sir. He would not be over Oba. He would not be over Braun Breaker. No, sir.
He would be maybe not Oba initially.
Bro, he would get exposed with that. The size is going to be an issue. We were just talking about Ilya. The size.
He's not that small though.
Bro, he's 5'8", man. Let's be honest.
He is not 5'8".
How tall is MJF?
I mean, I'll have to do some research, but he's not 5'8".
He's
He's
built at
5'11".
5'11". He's built as that.
So he's basically 6 foot.
He wears lifts.
Well, so did Chris Jericho, and look where it got him.
Chris Jericho's taller than him. Look at him next to John Cena. Hold on, let me send this to you real quick.
No, I got it pulled up.
Oh, you got it? Come on, man. John
It's
Cena
not
was
that bad.
Nah, come on, man. Come on, man.
I mean, how tall is Braun Breaker? Braun doesn't look super tall in there.
Bro is like 5'8".
Braun's 6 foot. If he's 5'11",
He's more jacked though.
MJF is ripped. I'm not buying that. Nah, I'm sorry. MJF.
You think Braun Breaker is less jacked than MJF?
I think MJF.
Look at him next to the Sandman, bro.
Nah, I'm not. You're not gonna act like MJF is skinny fat.
Look at him next to the Sandman. Is this a fan? What is that? Look at that I just sent you.
That's old. That's an old picture.
Oh, he's ungrown. Is he ungrown?
His physique is better now.
I'm just saying, bro. He's 5'8", man. Let's be honest. He was the same height as Adam Cole. Well, how tall is Adam Cole?
I mean,
oh, now you don't know. Oh, now we don't know. Come on, man. Let's be honest. If he showed up in WWE, he would not be over Femi. I'm sorry. It just wouldn't happen.
I don't know, man. He can talk. He can talk you into the building.
Femi can?
He can. I'm just saying I've seen MJF do it.
In a lesser audience, you've seen him do it. Oba does it in front of a bigger audience.
Nonetheless, I thought this was a good segment. There was a line that Oba had. Yeah, went off on our own tangent. There was a line that Oba had where he talked about, if you were going against Cena in the 2000s, you might be the guy. If you were going against the big dog in the 2010s, you might be the guy. But you've got the unfortunate time of living in the same time as Obafemi, and it's just not going to happen. That right there, man, like I got chills when he said that. Obafemi is just, like, I legit cannot believe, because I saw a video earlier this year, I sent it to you. Guy literally had Tony Storm and Kyle Fletcher over this man, and I get out of here.
And you look at the physique, and you hear the line that he dropped in that promo, and you still stand by MJF is better than Obafemi?
Yes.
I just can't do it. I can't do it, Micah.
Well, what did you think about the segment? And why do you think Braun's going to win?
I think Braun needs it more. And Oba, it would not hurt Oba to lose to Braun Breaker. Because, bro, I mean, just looking back, it kind of reminds me of the Triple H and Rock feud they had early on in like 98 when they were wrestling for the IC title and they were like one step below the main event scene. Rock didn't win any of those matches. Triple H did. And Rock turned into an even bigger star. So I don't think it would hurt Obafemi to lose to Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker could benefit because Braun Breaker has lost a lot of like notable feuds. He lost the feud. What was it? He lost the feud against Seth, and he lost the feud against CM Punk. You can't keep on having him lose these like big time feuds. You have to give him something at some point.
Now, let me counter with something. This is a take I saw online. Do you think that WWE is trying to get Braun on Oba's level because they don't want Oba to be the top star because there's, what some would lead you to believe that Triple H and WWE are racist and they don't want Obafemi to be the top star. This is a real take I saw.
Okay, all right.
They're trying to replace him with Braun Breaker. Do you buy that? I
don't buy that at all. I thought the line where he called Braun Breaker a silly orange man was pretty funny.
It did make me laugh.
Yeah, I don't put any credence behind that. That's terrible take, stupid take.
That's what I thought because I was like, what? Like
if they were putting all the gasoline behind Braun Breaker, they would have had him retire Brock Lesnar. As simple as that.
Exactly.
They wouldn't have straight up. Brock Lesnar wouldn't have straight up and said that he's the future and I'm the past. He straight up said that. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. Same thought I had, but again, real take I saw online. So I just had to consult and see what you thought. But do you think, one last thing about this segment, well, then we'll move on. Do you think that when these two meet up, I know you said you think Braun will win, do we get a clean finish?
No. No. We don't do that here, pal.
Do you think the Vision or do we get
Vision?
Heyman?
Be Theory. Nah, it'd be Theory. Theory get involved and slip on a banana peel. Obafemi gets pinned with a spear. And then Braun escapes with the win, but it leaves the door open for a bunch of rematches. I'm sure they'll run this for the next 10 years. And by 2036, we'll be sick of it.
I don't know about that. Could be wrestling soulmates like Punk and Cena, and I could just watch it infinite amount of times.
Well, you got to think, though, that was only for like a 2-year stretch.
Yeah.
If they kept on running Cena and Punk, I don't know how I would have felt about that.
Yeah. And honestly, realistic, this is going to be Brock and Roman-esque. You know what I mean? It's two big guys going in there doing what they do. It'll probably be a little formulaic, like you said, by the 5th time we've seen it. But I'm still excited to see it.
It was electric when they started throwing blows. Like, that was really great. But, yeah, I want to see how Oba does, like, selling. I want to see him have a longer match and be able to sell. Not totally look vulnerable, but you got to be able to sell if you're going to be a main event top star with longevity.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be the Ultimate Warrior in there.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think he is. We saw some of his NXT stuff. I think he has the ability to do that. I'm hoping this will be it. But, yeah, all in all, great stuff. Once again, unpredictable because I could see either guy winning. But we move on. We got 2 more things to talk about from Raw. An absolute classic. This is 2 weeks in a row now because we had one with Chad Gable and Rey Mysterio last week that we didn't get to talk about.
That was phenomenal.
But this week, another banger graps. We've got Dragon Lee versus Rey Fenix, another match in the Roman Reigns tournament. That is not the first time I've done that here.
Close enough.
Tournament to determine who will face Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship at WWE Raw in Mexico City. I almost said Grand Slam.
Grand Slam Mexico, Raw.
But this right here was something else, man. Like, I knew these two were going to have a good match, but like this right here is the type stuff that this is why I want people to check out AAA, because this is the stuff that they have down there sometimes, and it's just excellent. This, I don't even really know where to begin, but we knew both guys had this in them, and even then they just exceeded my expectations. Obviously,
it exceeded the crowd's expectations too. Crowd got super into this at the end.
Yeah, and I know obviously everybody's seen the one spot where Dragon Lee dives through the ropes and cannonballs into Rey Fenix. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that, and just it looked like he was moving at 2x speed, genuinely.
And you know what? Shout out the ref. I hate to ruin the magic for people, but the ref was like subtly pulling up the ropes so Dragon Lee could, just fly through them. He didn't have to worry about, getting his feet caught or anything. But the ref was like hunched over the ropes to, make it seem like he was checking on Phoenix. But in reality, he was holding the ropes up for Dragon Lee. Oh, that was phenomenal by the referee. Great referee work. And yeah, man, this whole I don't know how you even it was so much going on. Fast paced. Felt like we were watching WCW night.
Yeah, that was the first thought that I had, was this just feels like Nitro. You know what I mean? Just two guys going out there putting on an absolute, masterclass. Fast pace.
Yeah.
I expected Phoenix to win, but just this is what I'm talking about when, people are like, oh, you don't like this type style. You just don't like this style. No, I love this style because it wasn't nonsensical. The guys were, scratching and clawing for anything.
You know what? And I don't even want to say it's the lucha style. And if you're good at the lucha style, it's a great. I love the lucha style. If it's done right, I love Rey Mysterio, man. Rey Mysterio was one of the greatest to do that type of style. I particularly don't just like the flips just because we're gonna flip. Like the modern choreographed gymnastics type style. I don't like that. But the lucha style, if you can do that right, I think that's one of the best styles to watch, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. This lucha is very appealing to the non-fan, I feel like, because it's constant action. But there's very much a distinction between lucha and spot-centric wrestling. And this was not that at all. If you have stuck with us through the show and you haven't watched any of this week, make sure you check out Dragon Lee versus Rey Fenix. I cannot put enough praise on it. Rey Fenix does eventually pick up the win. This was my match of the week. And so we see Penta versus Rey Fenix, and I'll go out on a limb and say they're going to have probably an even better match than this next week.
They're going to tear the house down, man. Again, and you know what? This is what the whole tournament was about. It was about putting a spotlight on AAA. They have no shot of beating Roman Reigns in Mexico, but it's all about putting a spotlight on AAA, and I think they've done a tremendous job of that, especially with matches like that on Monday night. And I know it wasn't a part of the tournament, but yeah, shout out Ray and Chad Gable because they had a incredible, phenomenal match the week before. And of course, those are AAA mainstays now. Well, not so much Chad anymore, but Ray.
Yeah, and like you said, it really puts a good light on AAA. I implore anybody to check it out if you haven't already. It's still, my favorite show of the week. But not only that, this is the stuff that, we've asked for with WWE. We don't need necessarily 35-minute classics with two guys that I don't care about. But there's real stakes between these guys that, maybe you're not too familiar with Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix, but you can get why they're fighting because they're going for the world title, right? In Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable's case, they're fighting for the Intercontinental Championship. You don't really need a lot of background. But to me, over the past month or so, I don't know what this change has been, but WWE has felt unpredictable. They've given us good matches on weekly TV. And I truly am starting to get a feeling that I need to watch the show live because I feel like, I may be missing out on something where, yeah, I can catch the clips, but it feels like there's actually a reason to watch live. You're going to get good matches. You're going to get unpredictable stories to see where they lead next. And that was one case here with a great match. Like I said, they had it last week as well. And talking about unpredictable, we can move on to our main event segment with a tag match, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa versus the Usos, interrupted by the return of Royce Keys.
Man. Well, pause, man. Can we not have the Usos come out through the crowd if they're going to be heels? Why are they slapping hands with everybody?
Well, it's what we said earlier. Everybody's got to be cool.
I just don't understand, bro.
When you find out, let me know, because I got no idea why they still do it.
If anybody knows, just explain it to us, because I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah. I'm interested, but I just don't understand what's going on because I don't know if I'm supposed to cheer them.
And I mean, it's pretty obvious you're not, because the fans love LA Knight, and we didn't really talk about it, but they opened the show with Solo, and Solo, I'm telling you, man, I'm getting Young Rock feelings. It's one of those things where it's like, when you put in a vacuum what The Rock was saying and getting over during that time, it's stupid. It's nonsensical, right? But The Rock made it work. And just like that stupid little Matrix thing he did, like that's stupid. You know what I mean? But it was funny and it worked.
Yeah, it did work. But the match with the Usos and LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, that was what we were going to expect. We kind of crashed back down to reality. It was fine. It was there. You didn't really have to watch that match. But if you stuck around long enough, you got a little surprise at the end with the new debuted OTM Out the Mud. They are reformed Out the Mud because I believe they broke up.
Well,
went delayed. Oh yeah, Micah, you say something?
I don't remember an official split from them. I thought they just kind of. Bronco just started showing up in AAA. Yeah.
Well, okay, so the guys that showed up in the main event, Bronco Nemeth, which he's been in AAA recently with Go ahead, tell me the name of that faction again, Micah. I know you're the resident AAA connoisseur.
That is Los Perros del Mal.
Okay, so that group, Los Perros del Mal, they debuted a few weeks ago with Bronco. And Lucien Price has been in NXT for a while now, teaming with Bronco, but he's been doing his own thing recently. And they appear with Royce Keys with bandanas on their face. Everybody was confused. Michael Cole got the scoop before everybody and told us that it was Bronco and Lucien Price, even though Corey sees Bronco on a weekly basis. I don't know how he didn't know that's who that was, but I digress. They appear, Royce Keys and the OTM group, they start beating up everybody, even LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. And yeah, they stand tall at the end of the night. And what do you have any thoughts on the newly debuted OTM with Royce Keys, Micah?
A couple things. People
Yeah.
were really, really upset about Bronco getting kicked out of the group on Saturday. And I partially agreed because I was kind of like, I did like him. I thought he was a good fit. But I said at the end of that AAA video, I'm going to see where they take me. And where they took me is an even better fit because, we love Royce Keys. We have for a long time. I'm excited to see what he, is able to do. And then putting these two with him, man, that looks like a perfect pairing. Because when you see these three guys together, oh my God, you couldn't pay me enough to run into these three.
And are all three from Oakland, California?
I believe
I don't
so. I know
know Bronco
Royce.
is.
Yeah, I'm about to say I know Bronco and Royce are, but Lucian Price is
I feel like he's from South Carolina. He's like a South Carolina guy.
close enough, Maryland.
Okay. All right. So nowhere near California.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to look. They're all big guys, and I think that this can really elevate them to the next level. Now, I'll say this: a lot of people were showing their true colors on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this, but first I saw a lot of people saying, "Who or what is OTM?" Which I was like, "Wow, you guys don't watch the product." Then, secondly, I saw so many guys. What does out the mud mean?
Oh no.
I just, uh, you know, yeah, it doesn't have to be said, but it's known. Okay. So either way, I thought
I
the
don't like
group,
how Cole. Hold up. I don't back it up. I don't like how Cole said they're from the hood in Oakland. I don't like
see, I didn't even hear that.
that. Is that official, Michael? Have they said that?
I think they
I don't.
applied it with Royce. I don't know that
Yeah.
they said anything
I just
with
I
Bronco
don't
and the
know.
other guy.
That just seems out of place when Michael Cole says it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it. And but nonetheless, I think this was a great debut spot. I think they look like a just complete trio. We talk about it all the time, past the airport test. And when you
Oh yeah,
see somebody, a behemoth like Bronco Nima, Lucian Price, Royce Keys, oh
bro.
my God, what do those guys
They
do for a living?
look, bro. They look bigger than Royce. Like these
Yes.
guys are monsters.
And I'm here for it. Like I said, I just
Did you?
I'm interested to see who's the mouthpiece.
I would assume it would be Royce because I mean he's the leader. But I wouldn't be surprised if bro. I wouldn't be surprised if both those guys like split off eventually and both become mid card champions because they're talented. I think Price is he's the in ring guy. I'm sure he probably has something charisma wise that they haven't tapped into. But Bronco he's a good personality. He'll be able to do the promos, but I can see both guys getting over and both guys winning mid card titles in WWE.
Yeah. And depending on the development down the line, I think they both have a look for main event status. But we'll just have to see. However, I think I give it 3 months. These guys are
And
tag champs.
bro, they're still in their 20s too. How old are these guys? Mid 20s?
Well, Lucian Price is 29
Okay.
and Bronco Nima is 28. So right there at the edge.
And it's crazy because everybody, if you were watching NXT back in like the 2.0, maybe later on 2.0 era, but this team, OTM, they debuted and had do you remember Scripps? Do you remember
I do
Reggie?
remember that.
The, the gymnastics guy that they had? Well, he was their manager initially. And do you know who became their second manager, Micah?
I believe it was Jada Parker.
It was, yeah. And everybody that was watching back then assumed that Jada was just going to leave him behind and, go to the main roster and maybe these guys would get cut eventually. But it's funny that they got brought up before her. When if you
Yeah.
asked anybody back then, you would have thought the complete opposite. But
And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think these guys have tag gold in their future. I think Royce can, take this potentially to mid card, maybe Money in the Bank, and if it gets over enough, potentially a feud with Roman. But I don't know where they're gonna lie in terms of heel babyface because they attacked everybody. But once again, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, unpredictable booking. I gotta come back next week to see what happens.
and
This
you
is
know
what we
what?
asked for.
No rumors, no spoilers, nothing out of nowhere, which is exactly what wrestling is supposed to be.
Yep. And that seemed to be a big takeaway too, with everybody online that they loved. So keep it up, WWE. We look forward to AEW All In this weekend. And I sure enough almost forgot some predictions, but we're going to get them in quick, Ryan. All In 2026 in Wembley Stadium. Returning after last year, they went to Texas. So to start us off, AEW Women's World Championship match, Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné.
I'll go Willow here. I think she deserves it. And yeah, she will benefit the most from the win.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, like you said, she deserves it. She just got the championship not too long ago, and I think she is well on her way to being Women's Wrestler of the Year. So hopefully that continues with a win here. After that, for the AEW World Tag Team Championship, Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, Cage and Cope.
Yeah, I don't think the Young Bucks are going to be the ones to take it off of. I'm not sure who will yet, but that remains to be seen. Men's Casino Gauntlet match for a future AEW World Championship. Andrade versus MJF versus Tommaso Ciampa versus random participants that we don't know.
What do you think? I might have to defer to you on this one.
Well, I'm going to go with MJF, but that's kind of hinging on the main event. So,
Well, wait a minute. It's the casino, right? Casino Gauntlet. So that's
yeah.
the surprise entrances.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had releases recently for WWE. Do you see Ilya Dragunov appearance?
I could see it. I feel like there was another name in that big batch with Machine Guns and New Day. Am I forgetting somebody?
The White Six.
Yeah, no, never mind.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I could see an Ilya. We talked about that earlier, but I still think MJF takes home the win here.
Okay. Well, you think he's going to beat Andrade?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's going to pin him, but Andrade has a championship, and he's kind of babyface right now, so I see more of a heel MJF going in.
Winning a gauntlet match on the biggest show of the year. It don't get no bigger than that for MJF. Meanwhile, my guy Obafemi is going to headline Sunday night's main event.
Is he headlining
Interesting.
over Cody Randy?
Yeah, it's going to headline.
Okay.
Yeah.
Following that, a Continental Challenge Cup final for the AW Continental Championship. John Moxley or Claudio Castagnoli, well, we know this will be John Moxley, versus Kyle O'Reilly or Nigel McGuinness.
You think they give Nigel the... No, never mind. He's facing Moxley. Moxley will beat Nigel.
Yeah, that
He'll
same
choke him
thought
out.
I had.
He'll choke him out.
In his home country, because
Oh, yeah, of course.
Mox wins, LOL. AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship match, Divine Dominion versus the Ooh, Brawling Birds.
There you go. They'll give these girls the hometown win because they're in England, and I think both of them are from England, so they'll go with them.
Yeah, they've been really
Birds.
pushing them as well.
Is Mick Foley anywhere on this card? I think he'll be right here. He'll be in the chair or on his knees in the corner. I don't know.
Barking. Yeah, I don't know, but we've got a AEW TNT Championship match. Falls Count Anywhere. Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin.
It's Kevin Knight. Maybe a Sting Jr. will appear to turn on Darby Allin. I can see that happening. He's been included in a lot of video packages, and he was seen backstage with Darby, so I can see something like that happening.
Well, we've only had one title change so far, and Kevin Knight, I believe, he's already got the most defenses of the TNT Championship or something like that. So I'm going to go Darby Allin here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Following that, a three-way match for the AEW International Championship. Kyle Fletcher versus Konosuke Takeshita versus Kazuchika Okada.
I got Fletcher here. They like Fletcher.
Yeah. Only other option I think would be Takeshita, but I'm not 100% sure. There's also going to be... Oh, yeah, that's true. And Kyle just won it, for that matter. An AEW World Trios Championship match, which is Hangman Ambrodito versus TBA, which we can assume will be Swerve and the New Day.
Motor City Machine Guns, I'll have you know.
Oh, okay.
Nah, if you got a surprise, the surprise always wins. So, yeah. Swerve and whoever he brings out there.
Yeah. I agree with you, though. I'm skeptical about that pairing. And the
most
main
dangerous
event...
cornball. He'll fit right in with the New Day.
Can't wait for them to sell blue and pink fingerless gloves with unicorn horns on them. But the main event for the AEW World Championship, Kenny Omega versus Bruv himself, Will Ospreay.
There you go, Will. Predictable finish. And get the big win in the home country. That's what they want.
I'm going to go Will, much to my chagrin. But ladies and gentlemen, much to your delight, probably, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back next week reviewing AEW All In. Sorry for the length of the show, but, we took last week off. We had a lot to talk about. And this week was pretty interesting, so I feel like we should get a pass. But make sure you come back with us next week. Like I said, check out our socials at Scoop Slam on just about every platform out there. Other than that, take care of yourself over the weekend. Enjoy some graps, and have a good one.